Good evening, all participants, and welcome to 2023 and the first international conference from Besto UTS International. And the title is very attractive: Barriers of Education. We have done an excellent job during COVID period. I salute, I really respect and honor all our faculty members who have really done a wonderful job during a COVID time. And this is the common platform, or international platform, where people gather, they share their ideas. We create a knowledge database so that we can understand each other, we understand the need of each other, as well as we can share the quality content. This is from my side. I have prepared a very small presentation for you. Let me allow to share it. Hope my screen is visible. This is the Bestow Edutex International. We are bestowed on education and training, professionally managed educational organization. Bestow Edutex is a registered trademark of the company. We are a NGO registered with multiple authorities. We are signed a MOU with the Media and Entertainment Skill Council also, and we are authorized partner of providing quality content as well as admissions to DY Patil University online as well as Dresden University, Germany. It's a nice ISO 9001 2015 IF certified organization, and we are members of various international bodies. Here is the academic linkage. We are academic linkage with Suresh Ganviar University as well as many more. About the conference, the title is very simple: Barriers of Education During and the Post-COVID Scenario. Major benefits of this organization: you will get the certificate as well as the letter of acceptance, publication, and the book, everything. And we are planning to provide DYF for individual chapters. And these are the three books where we have received a communication from Scopus that these are the index. They have index on their website also, and they have index on the Google also. We have provided that link on our website also. The first book is Impact of COVID-19 on Commerce and Management Economics, Impact of COVID-19 on Media and Entertainment, and Post-COVID-19 Era in Library Science. We provide various types of skilling, upskilling, and reskilling programs for faculty members or for educators also. Accredited teacher trainer, certified corporate trainer, accredited management expert, and certified soft skill trainer. These are the short-term training program, and we provide a long-term training program. These are the 6 months to 1 year training program. That is diploma in educational management, soft skill, career counseling, business management, and research methodology. This is all about our side. This is a small presentation I have prepared for you for opening ceremony of the international conference. Now it's time to hear from our experts. I will invite Jaikar Sayyaraj. Let me introduce a short brief about him. I know he is more than that. He is working as the head of Department of French at FAIPS DPS Kuwait since 2008. Have more than 27 years of teaching experience. I have worked in colleges and school in India as well as in Kuwait. I served as a board of study member and as an external examiner in French for colleges in universities in Tamil Nadu, and serves as an external examination for French for GCSE, IGSC, SE, and other British councils in Kuwait. Welcome, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, sir. And good afternoon to all the dignitaries and all the participants. It's a great pleasure, at least, to talk to you on this great occasion. And I'm going to just take a few minutes, and I just want to highlight, because when I was looking at when Sir has named it as a warrior of education, what does warrior mean? What sets us apart as a warrior of education? Usually we have known, we are addressed as educators or teachers, or lecturers or professors. But when we say warrior, what does that mean? Warrior, it's someone like, I was just looking at the meaning of this word warrior. One of the meaning you have here, it's a brave or an experienced soldier or a fighter. Or it says a person engaged or experienced in warfare, or a person usually who has both experience and skill in fighting. That's what a warrior means. Now, how do we incorporate this term warrior with educators? Every warrior has a task to accomplish. Same way, as an educator, we have a task to accomplish, no matter what challenges comes before us. And during this pandemic, at least, we had a great challenge. And in spite of that challenge, in the midst of that challenge, we had a task to accomplish. One thing that sets us apart, it is the fighting spirit and the courage inside the educators. Pandemic has taught us very valuable lessons. I hope, at least, I believe most of you are going to talk about that actually. And one of the life lessons, it is, as an educator, we have learned, it is, we have to stay focused and we have to stay motivated. And in the midst of this pandemic, and we had a new challenge, at least, to adapt ourselves to, and we have to go through with our classes without any break, and immediately we have to switch over to a new platform and a new norm. And we needed to adapt ourselves to the new challenges, you know and we did it. In spite of that, the task, what is the task of an educator? It is, we need to identify the true potential in a child. We have to nurture the skills and the strength and the talents, and so that they become successful in the field. We did that even during the pandemic, even during whether it is pre COVID or during COVID or even post COVID. We have to do all this. Yeah. So we needed, it was not very easy actually as an educator, like, to change ourselves, our skills, our techniques, you know and in the challenge that was present itself like a giant before us. But when we look at it, like, it was difficult in the beginning. If I ask each one of you, you will say, like, narrate your experience, like how difficult it was. But we now we realize it is a new world of opportunity actually was presented to us as educators. Like, those challenges has become as a world of opportunities. Having said that, we should never forget the amount of hard work and the time sacrificed by the teachers to learn this new technology and to prepare the lessons using the different tools available for them. And they have to fight through the fears, and they have to, get into a new unknown territory, and they have to shine there. So I'm going to just, like, talk on two things, like, that sets us apart during this time. The first thing, that one of the main characteristic I find, that was resident in educators, even during the COVID time, was the vision. If you want to make a comparison, like, we can always make a comparison with eagle. Like, have you seen an eagle? I think it is, you would see, they are unlike the other birds. Other birds, if you see a storm, at least they always, like, just go and hide. But eagles wait for the storm. They always have a great vision and have a powerful vision. So they always, like, unlike other birds, they always wait for the storm to come, and they use that chance to fly, and they soar high. Okay, they not only fly, but they soar, okay, above all the circumstances, above all that challenges. So that's what one of the qualities we have seen in all the educators around the world, at least during the COVID. It is this, they had this powerful vision, like, the vision. Without a vision, we cannot show any progress. like, it's very difficult to focus at the time. Like, I'm not saying like, it was initial, everyone has to go through, like, we all had this fear, we all had like, how it's going to be, when it's going to end. But as an educator, like, we can't sometimes, like, if you look at those years, at least, we can't even relax. We need to have, for every class, we need to have a vision. Like, it is vision I have to set for myself and for my students, like, for every class. So that vision has given the educators the strength, the motivation to look beyond the inabilities and the limitations and the challenges. So when I say vision, like, it is not about just an short term vision, like, see, it is about looking beyond, looking, through all those challenges, looking through those, the fears or the limitations. And we have to say, like, we never know at the beginning, at least, when it's going to end. But we need to have the vision I need to set for myself. It's going to be a long time, because when all the institutions were closed down, we had no choice. At least we have to switch over to a new platform altogether, a new for everyone. Like, it was not easy, but this the spirit, the warrior spirit in each one of us, made us rise above all the circumstances. So we had this vision, like, for every class, whether it is online or whether it is offline, we always have this vision that we need to plan for every class. We need to have that, like, see, we even when we plan for the class, we always say, like, what type of students are going to come, and how I'm going to handle this class, what type of challenges the students will face, as well as we educators will face. And I need to prepare myself. So in that, preparation, we always like incorporate the activities to make it interesting, to make it, interactive. That's why I like what Abraham Lincoln said: you cannot escape the responsibility of tomorrow by evading it today. So that, I can't just like escape saying, like, okay, I have a responsibility of tomorrow, but again, I can't evade the responsibility of today. So I need to, go ahead and do that. So the second characteristic I found in all the educators, it is the courage. As Carl von Clausewitz said, courage above all things is the first quality of a warrior. As a warrior of education, like, we are obliged to be fearless, courageous. It doesn't mean, like, we are not afraid. We are human beings. We have the fear. And when we look at the challenges, like, we initially we get scared. But what makes us different, it is we see them as an opportunity, like, to just, we overcome the fear, and we try to show, so what we are good at, what we, the situations, like all those years from the time we started teaching as an educator, like, where the situations have molded us, that, made us or prepared us for what challenges that lies ahead for us every day. So sometimes, like, we have to explore new methods. We need courage for that. We need to have, we need to be courageous to explore new activities, new styles. So it is like, when we look at the reality, we need to take risk. We have to, come out of our comfort zones. We have to step out of our comfort zones. We can't stay there. We were comfortable, like, with the physical classes. We are comfortable doing certain things, but we are made to step out of our comfort zones. We were made to explore something new path, new methods. Some of us, like, we were not used to these technology, but we never yielded ourselves to the fear, but we rose above the situations and the circumstances. So what makes us fearless or courageous? It is the passion and the determination, we have for as an educator. So, and also one of the things, like, that makes us fearless or courageous, it is we, as educators, we never focus on ourselves, on our, weakness, but we always like focus on the goal, the focus on the students. We all go through fear, as I said, but when I focus on the students, like how do I make it more informative? How do I make it very interactive? How do I make it very interesting? Okay, so when I focus on them, and I will prepare, and I have to, whether I have to reskill myself, upskill, or I have to skill myself in certain areas, I will do that, because we always want to do well. Okay, and also we want to do well for our students so that they benefit out of it. So that makes us, gives us the motivation, that gives us the courage. So that's some of the qualities I found, like it is really, it is very helpful. And also, these are the two things that made us as a warrior, during this COVID. Where I just want to leave you with one. I love this quote. It says, if you're a true warrior, competition does not scare you, it makes you better. It's Andrew, he said that, Whitworth. And I loved, and I know, all of you, you have excelled in the midst of those challenges. You have proved yourself as a warrior. And that's what makes us, as an educator, we are warriors. And we have to fight through, and we have to fight for, and we have to fight for, to make our the students at least as successful. And also, as an educator, we fight because we love that, we because our passion we have, and the determination we have for teaching. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Some very inspirational, as well as definitely help us a lot to improve our knowledge also. Thank you. Thank you very much on the behalf of Best Students, and really you made this conference as a wonderful sharing and enriched. Thank you very much, sir, on the behalf of the entire team. Now I request Dr. Atul Kumar. Atul Kumar, hope you are audible. I am audible and visible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Welcome to the International Conference on Warriors of Education. Dr. Atul Kumar is a PhD holder. He is a well-known professor and working with the DY Patil in Pune. He's having a rich experience of almost a decade or more than that, and excellent in research, methodology, and related. Welcome, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak with the wonderful audience. And good evening to each and everyone present on the forum. I would like to thank Professor Jaker first for a wonderful speech and giving food for the thought. So I would like to start with the Professor Jaker's speech only. COVID-19 has given us a lot many challenges as well as opportunities through those challenges as well. And during this COVID-19 pandemic, very new, innovative things and ideas came across the different sectors, whether it is an education sector or anything else. So the challenge was how to enhance the productivity during or even after the COVID. As we all know that we all were at home, working from home, and not going to the offices for our regular routine work. And a world become little hesitant to go back to the offices. So a new concept called hybrid mode of working, or hybrid activities, I will say, that emerged during the COVID. Even it is still there. So I would like to talk a little bit about this hybrid mode or especially how we can enhance the productivity in hybrid mode, and whether this hybrid mode will persist for a longer period of time or not, whether it is a future of the different activities and working styles, and what are the several benefits of hybrid mode to the organizations as well as the employees. So as we know that world looks upon after the COVID-19 pandemic to operate from the offices and workplaces. Now, the leaders at the organizations and institutions are now ready to welcome back their employees to the work and offices. But organizations are trying to balance between work locations from home and offices. And it has been witnessed that employees are not ready to go to the office again. Since these employees are not willing to go to the workplaces, so according to me, hybrid mode of work has become the focal point. So now the question is hybrid mode the real solution? So I want to say that after COVID-19 pandemic, the landscape of the work has changed significantly. And the hybrid mode of the work is here to stay for a longer period of time. It wouldn't be wrong if I will say that will continue, and it is never ending process now. The way the economy is operating has also changed. Now we have seen that many people, they are ordering groceries online, meetings are conducted online gatherings with family and friends, and even there are online way of working is there. Organizations now, they are trying to enhance productivity using the technology from the hybrid mode of working. Therefore, we have seen the concept called hybrid education, hybrid events, even hybrid conference, hybrid training, online and offline both, hybrid workplaces, hybrid leadership, teams, communication skills, even hybrid sales management, hybrid engagement skills, even many more. We have seen that hybrid payment solutions are as well. So I want to say that when we plan the things carefully and strategically, the hybrid work model combining remote and work office has potential to improve the organizational performance in several ways. First, I would like to say that it is definitely going to increase the productivity of the organization. And why I'm saying so? Because this hybrid model can offer a flexibility and empower the employees to work to their strength, which in turn will definitely boost the productivity of the organization. By encouraging a culture that views the remote work as a positive alternative to completing deep focus task in office, teams can find a good balance of creativity and collaboration among them. Now, employees who need peace and quiet to focus, who thrive in an office setting, can be given the choice whether they want to work from home or want to work from office when they are most productive. Now, the second advantage would be definitely that will improve the employee satisfaction. It will also help to grow a employee-centric culture, because this hybrid mode gives an autonomy to the employees, and autonomy is the key to the employee satisfaction. If you provide full autonomy and decision making on how, where, or when your team members work, employee satisfaction will definitely skyrocket. Autonomy is really very important for on-site workers too. Okay, I'm not saying that it is not important for the on-site workers. Employees, especially who return to the office after a year of setting their home schedule or their own schedule, will need to feel that they are trusted to get work done without a manager standing by their head. Okay. Even this hybrid mode can also provide more possibility of learning to the employees. Okay, many organizations are performance driven, but it is no, seen that the result is there not enough time for learning, because employees are too busy with the regular routine work and performing at par. So an output focused approach sometimes does not enable the long-term development of your employees, and high productivity can mask an exhausted workforce. Okay, so therefore it is a responsibility of the leaders that they should be humble enough to recognize that learning does not happen only in the training courses. Create everyday opportunity for learning and reflection. When workday comprises back-to-back meetings, it's difficult for anyone to generate enough mental capacity to reflect or process the information. That is why encourage the employees to take time for self-development, self-learning, and self-reflection. I also see one of the advantage of this hybrid working style is the better collaboration and work relationship among employees and employers as well. Okay, virtual meetings can really play too great a role in hybrid mode. Okay, I would like to quote here that according to Microsoft, the time spent on weekly Teams chat, one of the software service provided by Microsoft. So they say that the time spent on weekly Teams chat is up to 45%. Since Feb 2020, and now it is 148% rise is there after 2020. So we need to find new, more efficient ways of working that does not involve work days filled with so many of unproductive meeting, especially face-to-face meetings. No, for doing this, adopt a facilitator's mind, consider how human relationship work, and design a work process that fit the team members' habits and needs. Facilitating dialogue about how teams can work together will definitely help individuals to understand each other better, strengthen the relationship, and improves the communication, and finally the productivity of the organization, whether it is an uh, educational organization or it is manufacturing organization. One of the advantage of hybrid working, which I see, is improving the mental health of the employees. So one of the survey done by Microsoft, according to the data from the Microsoft, one in the global survey, respondent says that their employer does not care about their work-life balance. But it is really very important. While work and life may rarely be in perfect balance, so work life is fit, is a vital aspect of any healthy working environment. And it is very important that hybrid work enables employees to fit their work life together in the way that they work for themselves and the company. This reduces the stress and helps prevent burnouts. And think of it is very easy. Think of that it is very easy, and work leaks into your life, but rarely does life leaks into your work. That is very important to understand. So if the weather is beautiful now, go outside and enjoy it. You can finish your work later on. This facility can be provided only in the hybrid mode, but when you are in office, you have to work. So in nutshell, I would like to say, now the people are looking for a place they can visit only for a specific purpose, and be it a collaborative session or an important meeting. They don't want to visit the place for even unimportant work. Okay. So importance is given to output and productivity. Work locations now considered as secondary aspect. That is why workplace now become the resource, not the requirement. To completion of the project and task, nowadays workplace just merely a resource, not the requirement. So it is there when the team need it, but not a requirement to get the work done. So it's a time to embrace the hybrid workspace. Within this new hybrid world of work, companies are forced to think, and all the organizations, I will say, across the sectors, whether it is education sector or any IT sector or maybe any manufacturing sector. Now, all the sectors, they are forced to think in a new and creative ways about the perks, benefits, and resources they will provide to their workers working in the hybrid mode. So hybrid mode is one of the innovation. I will not say innovation, that would be not the right word, but this is one of the outcome of this the opportunity, I will say, of this arised from the corona pandemic, and it will rest for a longer period of time. Many organizations, we have seen that those are enhancing their productivity through this hybrid mode of working. And it won't be wrong if I will say that it is a beginning of a new era where we will see that online and offline working, and I will say that where we will see that hybrid mode of working for a longer period of time. So this is what was from my end. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity and listening to me. Kumar Datta sir, thank you so much, sir. And audience, if you do have questions, I'm open to take your questions.
Thank you very much, sir. It's a really pleasure to have you on board, sir. It's our great honor also. Very informative, very knowledge sharing, as well as the content is rich in all aspects, sir. Thank you very much on the behalf of entire team. I most welcome participants like M. Chaudhary, Dr. Sandhya J, Sampurna Guha, Jayashree. Welcome Jennifer. Welcome Ashish Kumar Mishra. Welcome Dr. P.K. Rajput, sir. Welcome, sir, and it's a great honor you are present today. We are expecting that, yes, somebody will, a great person there for today. Welcome, sir, on the behalf of that. Thank you very much, sir. Then we have Mr. Ashish Kumar Mishra, Satya Kalyani, Dr. Dilip Deshmukh, Sangeeta Bharat, N.I. Van, then Kiran Singh, Chris M. Jaya, Narasimha Prasad Avari, then Avinash Mohulkar, S. Vigneshwara, and Kiran. Welcome all for the international call. Now we are having a next resource person. The name is Viji Parthasarthi. She has done MS in IT, MCA, and MPhil. She is working as an assistant professor at computer science and IT and application. She has done various UG and PG program and doing excellent job during and at his place. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much and welcome, ma'am. Welcome, Vijay ma'am, and over to you.
Yeah, very good morning. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Just I am going to share a PPT first.
Sure. Anyone having any questions, they can ask after the completion of the presentation by Vijay ma'am. Yeah, your screen is visible.
Visible.
Yeah. Please over to you.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, very much, very much. You can continue.
Yes, sir. Good evening, all. I am Mrs. Vijay Parthasarathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Srimati Indira Gandhi College, Trichy from Tamil Nadu. Actually, I am very much excited to meet you all in this international conference. As Sir said, our Kumar Dutt sir said that it is a knowledge database. We have to share and care of our data. After becoming a fellowship member in Association of Educators and Corporate Trainer, I have the chance to mingle with the learned personalities of the globe. Very happy. And I would like to acknowledge here and thank Dr. Kumar Dutt sir. Thank you, sir. The title of the conference is Warriors of Education. Warrior. Actually, Jayakar Sahairaj sir neatly explained about the term warrior. Warrior is one who is very brave and experienced fighter. So I don't want to explain furthermore. Actually, yes, as Sir said, the pandemic made everyone in the world become a warrior. Every individual had their own issues and responsibilities. If we think about the pandemic period, this forum became melancholy. Many of us or our friends faced the virus and met the worst situation. The world becomes silent for a certain period of time, except the hospitals. Companies and corporates need to establish communication. They need to connect with the people remotely for people's safety purposes also. Here, digital technology entered into the world. Luckily, governments also had a thought of the students' education. Many officers shifted work from office to home. Yes, Atul sir said about the hybrid model. Yes, it has happened because of pandemic situation. People started working from home. Here, companies and workers were to take much responsibilities. People were seeking help by hitting the Google. And the topic I am going to discuss in this session is on impact of COVID-19 on media and entertainment. Media. So media, it is a broad term, refers the tools support for the mass communication. I have shown you some of the advantages after pandemic we are meeting. Actually people met with all those wonderful tools. Any kind of information given by media may be about the product, service or news. But influence is so powerful today. Media can easily influence people positively or negatively. Now, people's life depends on the media as a source of entertainment and information. People who were locked compulsorily in homes moved to an online process. Actually, the media content, when you see about the media content, it is actually immersive and interactive. It has very high interactivity. Yes, we are interacting with the machines. It could be polling or games, MCQ, online images in 3D form, animation. This interactive features paves the way to get imperishable content for education, healthcare, and every field. It is going on up to entertainment. Actually, it is customer-centered nowadays. Over the business based on consumer or customer satisfaction. And we are having personalized marketing. It is a strategy that uses data to connect with target audience and existing customers to offer an optimized marketing experience. So people share the content and communicate very easily. And the first tool, which is a very basic and very interesting tool we are all using because of WhatsApp, we are all gathering and we are communicating in this forum also. Actually, this WhatsApp has the ability to create option to add up to 1024 members up from 256. And it also introduced admin to delete, giving admins the ability to delete problematic messages. And of course, we can send the location, and we can search a specific chat, and we can make a video call, voice call, everything. See here, I have shown you every options in the WhatsApp. Here, I have given a polling option also. See here, as a education, as a lecturer, I have given a question poll, because through this polling option, any member can get their feedback, any options, any opinions can just by posting the polling option. See here, I have given a question that at the right side, you may see the question, a global system of interconnected computer networks to serve billions of people of users worldwide is called. This is the question. And then options are given A, B, C, D. See here, our students are interacting with this polling option. See, the option B is polled by polling. I am receiving the polling answers. That is, B is actually selected by 10, and of course, and C, the option C is opted by 1, and option B and D. So this is what we can get the opinion or feedback just by polling polling option. So this is very wonderful option in WhatsApp. And we have Telegram option. Telegram, it is the alternative for WhatsApp. It is another alternative for WhatsApp. It has very nice features. For example, if you want to change the phone number or add the number, it is the migration is very easy. The transferring all the contacts and other information to the new number would be done automatically. And here another wonderful option, Telegram bots. Telegram bots are useful tools that can do everything. There are thousands of bots available on Telegram. They may even tempt us to get rid of WhatsApp. See here, I have given only 2 bots, AirTrack bot and Hotel bot. So it is here, AirTrack bot. It is not easy to find the cheap flights. There are so many providers and the prices change so frequently that is hard to keep. It is worth investigating AirTrack bot. Just to tell the bot your desired route, and it will let you know via the notification when the price moves up or down. And I have given Hotel bot. It is another example. It is complementary to the AirTrack bot. It works in the same way. Just to let the bot know the name of the hotel and the city, and it will monitor the cost over time. So we can make sure we can book when the price is cheap. So this is a wonderful options in the Telegram platform. And next, we are having another platform, that is Facebook and Instagram. We are all using Facebook is a social media networking site that allows user to connect with the friends, family, co-workers, and others. We are all meeting. We are all each other through the Facebook also, including group of people who share similar interest can meet in the Facebook platform, and we can share pictures, videos, articles, and opinions with their friends. And we know about Instagram. It is a photo and video sharing social networking service. And in this Facebook and Instagram platform, Reels is one of the tools by which creators creating video content for their business. Particularly short form video is growing and an attractive way for the audience. Live programs also can be broadcasted. Those would be in diverse formats. See here, I have given, I'm going to show you 2 reels. See the first reel, through the first reel, it is a very humorous one, while at the same time we can learn something. It is wonderful. Reels are very wonderful. See here. So it is very interesting. See here we have learned the difference of the different generations of the mobile. And the next reel, we may see the cute baby, how it reacts to the mobile. Now, this is the what we are facing in the world. Even 6 months baby started learning mobile features. Interesting one. Next, what we are going, and actually it is very convenient way to post, and we may upload post wherever we are and whatever device we use. And when you see about the imagination of the people, their imagination level goes up, and their works are very unique. And the people may narrate their videos, they may share their own site, and they may engage with the followers. And actually, the reels are the very good feature, and it has a library of stickers. Actually, wonderful. And sound sync is a way for creators to match their Facebook video clips to the beat of a song or piece of audio. Users can also apply 2D, 3D, lyrics, effects, etc., etc. A wonderful feature. And more are what make Facebook and Instagram the go-to places to create and publish engaging quality digital content. So next, let us see about the YouTube. It allows us to share our content in real time. Video is the gateway to the internet, and the gateway to video is YouTube. A new user first thinks about video and then does other things. The kind of users coming onto YouTube is very interesting. See, the baby shark dance, actually after pandemic in 2021, January 2021, the baby shark dance became the first YouTube video to surpass 10 million views. See here? So actually, currently it has 12.4 billion lifetime views on YouTube, you know, very interesting one. And actually, because of YouTube, women entrepreneurs, whether they are literate or illiterate, entrepreneurs are booming. And she is Jenna Nicole Mowry. She is the owner of the most popular channel on YouTube operated by a woman. And she is also the first social media star. You know, her wax figure is in the Madame Tussauds Museum, which is in Singapore. And next, Nisha Madhulika, and she's a food blogger. She has a 12.4 million YouTube subscribers and is India's top female YouTuber. And next, I have given Shruti Arjun Anand. She is Indian female. She has, see the subscribers and how many views are views for her, and there are videos. She has uploaded 979 videos onto the YouTube, through the YouTube. And next, let us see about the chatbots. Actually, and even though I want to say one more thing, that is Dr. Satya Raghavan, Director Marketing Partners at Google India, said, today YouTube can generate data for one film trailer, and based on the feedback, producers can decide the release strategy in terms of number of prints and where to put them out. He also said there are 80 million subscribers in 2022, of course, 22-23. And there is a lot of headroom to grow in India as well. His statement is really true. There are many types of videos and channels are uploaded. Of course, many channels we have: education channel, fitness channel, cooking channel, etc., etc. So next, we are going to see about the chatbot. A chatbot is a computer program that can chat with its users. Chatbots simulate conversation by sending automatic messages, synthesizing voice, or offering decision buttons. See here, I have given one sample chatbot. Customers can order food without making a single call. Prior to these chatbots, everyone used to dial the phone and make the orders. And apart from that, nowadays we are having chatbots, that is customer service chatbots. Just by clicking few buttons like start and choose what we want and enter the address and done everything. And the most important and the chatbot which stands out of the large number of chatbots is Domino's. Why? Here I have here I have given the chatbot that is for Domino's, and because it is so convenient and simple. It has one job and it does it well. Super. And we have an AI chatbot also, that is artificial intelligence. And it is a piece of software that simulates conversation with users using natural language processing, NLP. So it operates through messaging application and uses machine learning to provide a human-like experience. It actually help us to increase sales, help business people to increase sales, improve customer satisfaction, and save the time. And people can also use them to analyze complaints, reviews, and feedback from a variety of chat. So next we are going to see about brand marketing. This is another area. We are having so much improvement in the digital technology. And one of the most important is brand marketing, that is advertisement. Marketers use advertisements to help companies reach their objectives and increase revenue. Often they design advertisements for a specific group of potential customers. People recognize a company by its brand name, logo, slogan, as well as colors. And some examples, Apple, Coca-Cola, etc. We have been telling stories forever, and our brains have evolved to love them eventually because storytelling trends to make information way more memorable. Now, this storytelling technique is used for marketing. And here I have given two ads. The first one is for you may understand. It hooks the customers and increase the brand awareness. See the first video. So you know for what purpose this video is. And next, for the time consumption purpose, I stop it. And see the second one. See, second one is for suspects. See the video. Actually, I admire this video because, see here, they are also talking something and it is a narrative. And see, this act highlights the proper disposal of garbage through a child. It is a wonderful, memorable advertisement. And I want to enter into the entertainment, that is a film industry. Actually, the latest marketing trends for 2022 include personalization, social media, AI, and virtual reality, and the metaverse. However, and let us enter into the entertainment. Film industries all over the world are standing up after a period of breakdown. As the year proved to be another fruitful year to bring audience back to theaters. A notable digital release in 2022 is the psychological drama film, Voila. See here? And of course, the fun-filled activities motivate students to learn better, keeps the excitement alive. Here I want to show you an example video. One second. See here, this is to improve the speaking skills, communication skills. So just through the story, they are through the captions, the students may learn the English also. They may improve their communication skills. So this is a wonderful video, and actually, when you see about the film industry, 2022 saw a lot of change in Indian cinema. Audiences returned to theaters, and see here, and I have given you two pictures. The one is using drones. Actually, drones are becoming increasingly popular for capturing aerial shots. They offer unique perspective that can really add production value to your film. The advantages of a drone is that they can be used in places that are difficult or impossible for traditional cameras to go. This opens up a whole new world of possibilities for filmmakers. Drones can get shots that would otherwise be impossible, which can really add a lot of production value to your film. AI tech innovations assist with classifying digital data as per mutual features. This way, a company can predict user engagement, allowing for better monetization opportunities. For instance, Spotify applies different AI solutions when designing on recommendations for music that users eventually fall in love with. And we know esports. We are enjoying cricket because of this technology, innovation in the technology. And next, I'm going to show you some film shots. Here I have given you some film. See, actually, augmented reality and virtual reality. These rule the film industry. Virtual reality is becoming more and more realistic and is being used more and more in filmmaking. This technology can transport viewers into the making them feel like they are truly part of the action. VR technology has been used to create some of the most realistic and harrowing scenes in the recent memory. For example, I'm going to show you another example, that is The Revenant. The Revenant used VR technology to shoot a key scene in which the main character is molded by a bear. See here, and very interesting one. See how realistic it is. Actually, it is a virtual reality. And the use of VR made the scene more realistic and harrowing, and it earned the film an Academy Award for the Best Picture. I want to show another one, that is AR was used to create iconic HUD that Tony Stark sees. This allowed the filmmakers to not only create a realistic looking HUD. See, I'm going to show the pic now. See here, in this movie, you can find it. See how it is wonderful, but also add an extra information that would otherwise be invisible to naked eye. AR can also be used to create interactive experience. In the film Ready Player One, AR was used to create virtual world. So this is also a virtual world. See here how they are interacting. Real people are interacting with the machinery, that is AR, augmented reality. This film shows the same, that is Iron Man 3. As AR technology continues to develop, we can only imagine the new and innovative ways that it will be used in making. So finally, we have many things to discuss. It is an ocean. It is an ocean. AR technology continues to develop. We can only imagine the new and innovative ways that it will be used in filmmaking. The film Brahmastra, I think, Brahmastra implemented a technology called VFX. VFX, visual effects, VFX, is the process of combining computer general imagery, that is CGI, with live action video footage to create scenes that wouldn't otherwise be possible or to fix, stylish or adjust footage for creative and or corrective purpose. Actually, every type of film or movie and TV production uses VFX nowadays. So I want to finally I want to conclude it with that new business models are being created by streaming video, social media, and gaming, transforming entertainment and media completely. While trying to create profits in a business that is less profitable, they might have to deal with their own market disruption. Apart from each other, social media, user-generated content, and video games also compete. The film industry worldwide is standing up. Media and entertainment will likely lose ground to more niche, community-driven and personalized media in 22-23. Streaming platforms like YouTube and Reels are emulating the practices of mainstream media outlets to generate more community-generated content. Whether people are literate or not, COVID made sure everyone adopted the digital world. Education has become a necessity for everyone in the digital age. Moreover, online classes are booming, and they allow participants to learn in asynchronous mode. And where our Bestow EduX support the students worldwide, it offers a wider range of options for learners. And of course, another major development was seen in the online video subscription platforms. over the past years, there has been a significant increase in the number of users for various platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Disney Hotstar, Z5 Woot, MX Player, and Sony Live, and more. Apart from these, there are many other government initiatives, deals, developments, and partnerships under process which will help boost the media and entertainment sector. And finally, I conclude with a small video which is very funny, and we have to aware of the fake videos also. First, I will show you the funny video. Immediate to that, I will show the fake video also. After that, I will conclude. Here, this video show the automation, robotic process automation. Actually, it is a mechanical device automation. Very interesting. See the automate if it is automation is done in the home, what will happen? See the machine rule the world in the future. If machines rule the world, what will happen? See here. Sitcom. How machine supports the human. See here. This is what happened if we use automation in our home. Okay. So I don't want to continue. You can understand. I may share it with in the group. And next, let us see how should be aware of the fake video.
Great, great.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much on the behalf of the team. Any questions from the participant?
Sir, a short comment, sir. I would just like to say thanks a lot to ma'am. Ma'am has shared so many interesting aspects about the usage of technology in learning, in so many other fields also. Lot of important information ma'am has shared. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Now here we are. The formal function is over. Thank you very much from the behalf of entire educated team. Thank you, Dr. Atul Kumar sir. Thank you, Vijay ma'am. Thank you, Jaikar Sairaj, for giving us a wonderful speech and session. Thank you very much on the entire team. And now here's time to listen from the presenters. We have lined up few presenters who have shown interest, and they are willing to present their research paper also as chapter. Number one is Sampurna Guha. Second one is Avinash Moholkar. Third one is Meghashan Chaudhary. Fourth one is Ashish K. Mishra. And fifth one is Satyal Kalyani. So these are the 5 persons who have shown interest and they are willing to share their expertise. Welcome and over to you. The first person is Sampurna Guha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Hope I'm audible, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. A very good evening to respected organizers. Thank you for giving us this wonderful opportunity to present our papers. And thank you, respected distinguished experts who have joined us today. I would like to share my screen. Please give me a minute.
Anyone would like to present? We have a slot.
Sir, I would like to present, sir. This is Chris here.
Yeah, please, Jayachandran. Yeah, you would like to present. So your name will be 6.
Thank you, sir.
This
Sorry,
is
Guha, ma'am.
excuse me, this is Sangeeta. Even I would like to do.
Okay, Sangeeta, we confirm it.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll continue, sir. The topic of my
Thank you.
presentation today.
Sorry.
No issues, sir. No issues.
Yeah,
So the topic of my presentation today is attachment relationships and psychological immunity among senior secondary school students in the post-COVID era. It's a review study which I'm presenting. It's a joint presentation by myself. I'm a research scholar in the School of Education of LPU and my guide, Dr. Nimisha Berry, who is the professor. I'll just change the screen. We all heard the distinguished experts today pointing about technology in the COVID era, in the post-COVID era, and we all saw how technology has taken up over our lives in diverse areas. Now here I would like to add one more important addition to technology. There's also the human bond, which is now very much coming into focus, especially in the post-COVID era. In this regard, we have done a research on something called attachment and psychological immunity. So I would just quickly like to pinpoint about what is attachment. Attachment is a type of a deep emotional bond which is formed between the primary caregiver and the child or the infant during the early formative years, that is the early growing up years. Attachment stems from the human need to form deep connections whereby we seek love, affection, security. So attachment is very important. And in fact, research shows that the attachment which is formed during the early years directly impacts the human relationships which we form in our adult years. So this makes it very important for us to explore, especially what is the impact of attachment on psychological immunity among adolescents in the post-COVID era. That was the basic, very rationale behind taking up this study. Most of the research which has been traditionally done in this field always shows that the mental and physical well-being of individuals is affected by emotions, stress, and other experiences. In fact, when I was going to the review of literature, techno addiction is also one major factor which has come into play, which is impacting the mental well-being and the physical well-being of students, of learners, of individuals. It was very interesting to here highlight the psychological immunity model, which was given by Ola way back in the 90s. And there, Ola comprises the entire psychological immunity into three aspects, which is approach, belief, subsystem, monitoring, creating, executive subsystem, and the self-regulating subsystem. So in the recent years, it has become a great research trend to understand and explore what are the factors which influence psychological immunity and mental well-being of individuals. So when the review which I have done was quite in-depth and critically done, so it clearly revealed that yes, attachment is one major factor which has direct impact on the psychological immunity, especially of adolescents. In fact, there was a study by Shengji which clearly mentions that an individual's mental well-being and psychological well-being is also impacted by the human relationships they maintain. In fact, all the experts were very well pointing out that how technology is allowing us to maintain the human relationships, even we are sitting in different places of India or internationally, and we are connecting with each other. So technology does impact the formation of human relationships and attachment in the process. Moving on, the research methodology which the researchers have used for the present study is an in-depth critical review of existing literature. The researchers have selected the literature dating back from 2002 to 2022, and various keywords were used like attachment, adolescence, coping, psychological immunity, senior secondary students, even student suicides, which are rising as per the National Crime Record Bureau over the past few years. Now, this was the process which is used by the researchers to collect the texts. First, the keywords were identified for the literature search. Then the keywords were used to, select the proper data, literature from the databases and journal repositories. Different databases like National Digital Library, Scopus, IEEE, SAGE, etc. were searched. And then the research studies which were according to the criteria, they were selected, they were downloaded, the full paper was studied, and the full paper texts were accordingly tabulated, and then the results which were obtained, I have tried to summarize it in the present slide. So since the time of origin of attachment theory, which was given way back by Bowlby in 1969, and further revisions came in 1982, since then research has shown that the relationship formed between the primary caregiver, which is biologically the mother, or any other caregiver, even the father or any other authoritative figure, and the infant matters a lot. However, in the recent times, it is seen that a lot of stress is being given on attachment bonds which are formed beyond the formative years, that is falling in the adolescence and adulthood stage. Because the records show that adolescents are getting impacted a lot by family relationships, peer relationships, and even technology in the current era is attributing a lot to the formation of relationships. In fact, we all saw in Madam's presentation a few minutes ago how Madam has highlighted the use of Facebook, social media, which all helps us to reach out to each other. So all this is impacting the formation of attachment bonds. And in the adolescent stage, we all know that the adolescent goes through a period of lot of stress and strain. So there's a lot of transition involved. And in those cases, attachment bonds can matter a lot in enhancing or strengthening the person's psychological immunity, which will in turn help the individual to cope and face stress and strain with less challenges. The COVID-19 outbreak has seriously and adversely impacted the mental health of individuals. As we have seen, there was a scene of intense social isolation, and this further impacted the human interactions, and people had to limit human interactions, but technology came into the forefront and it helped us to maintain the interactions with, whether it's the workforce, whether it's the students, whether it is the learners, whether it is with family members also. So people had a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of WhatsApp chat, video messages and all that, and that helped to maintain the human connection. So it's very important to explore and study attachment relationships, especially in the post-COVID era, which has witnessed considerable changes in human relationships due to the severe health crisis. And the virus outbreak has threatened the entire human existence, which has led to a lot of changes in the political, social, economic fronts. But thanks to technology, which has come as a savior and has helped us to maintain the human relationships and in fact, enhance the attachment bonds. Further studies definitely need to be done that how techno stress and other aspects are impacting the attachment. But this current study is focusing on attachment relationships and psychological immunity of adolescents. So I won't take much time. That was my final conclusion. These are a quick look at the references, and that's all from me. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. A wonderful presentation, and content-wise is really one of the best of its kind. Thank you very much on the entire team. The comment and reviews from our year will be passed on your personal window, but from my side, you will get 10 out of that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now we have Mr. Avinash Moholkar. I think he is left for the day. Then we have Meghasham Chaudhary, sir. Chaudhary, sir, welcome and over to you.
Good evening to all the dignitaries, Kumar Datta sir, and all my colleagues who have authored some of the chapters. So let me just share my screen. Is my chapter visible, sir? Is it on screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay.
You are having a 10 minutes to present, another
Yes.
2 minutes for question and answer. Over to you.
Yes.
People will
Okay. The book is Impact of COVID-19 on Commerce and Economics, and the chapter I had written is Impact of COVID-19 on B2B sales or B2B or industrial sales. So the background is, as soon as the COVID was announced, what was critical was how the local governments are responding to the COVID situation, whichever are the areas or the geographies affected, how they are responding to these things, ease of doing the business and the modularity in it, how it is helping businesses to work on. Those things remained quite important while handling this B2B situation. And COVID-19 has impacted all the three important critical processes in B2B, like the B2B exchanges. Exchange can be product information, commercial information, social exchanges involved in B2B sales process, and the different interactions with the sales team and the purchase team of the customer encounters into. Now, during the COVID, those organizations who went out of their way and showed a sympathetic attitude towards their suppliers as well as to the customers, they have started forming a long-term relationship, because when somebody is in need, if these organizations help, obviously that has gone into a long way. It has also ensured that there is a hybrid marketing where organizations are using hybrid mode. So major focus is on the in-house marketing. People are using outsourced marketing also, so that they can combine both of these and serve their customers in a better way. It has also ensured that businesses go to the digital way, and now for lead generation, conversion of the leads, retention of those clients, revenue generations, improvement in the website traffic. For all these things, digital business is being used. So specifically to generate leads and highlight the organizational culture, SEO, SEM, paid social media advertising are being used. Whereas all other things are being used like automation, AI, virtual reality, video marketing, e-marketing, influencer marketing. Those kind of things are being used in B2B e-commerce. Now, what were the learnings from the for the B2B marketers from the pandemic? First, now B2B is kind of more of an interaction between buyer and a seller. But now the remote selling has taken place of those interactions. Reaching out to clients has improved because now people have started interacting with the lost customers, past customers, competitive customers, potential customers who can be nudged and converted into our customers. And virtual sales, obviously, it has increased due to the restrictions during COVID period. We go to next slide. It seems my screen is frozen. Okay. Now, what is the current situations? Now, government has different governments have started putting restrictions with information or their guess that it is the China who had spread the COVID. So governments are putting restrictions on businesses coming from the China. So that has given rise to the local manufacturing. Also, as startups are coming in different sectors, the innovation has started taking a pace, because new startup organizations, they are coming up with new solutions, and which is in a way forcing existing players to come out with the new solutions. So overall, the innovation pace has increased. Also, the interactions between suppliers and customers are now moving towards either the online transactions, online communications, or the hybrid communications. Now, organizations are putting up their catalogs in the soft copies, giving maximum information in the catalogs, which can at least in some way reduce the travel expenses of the B2B salespeople, and they will try to share more and more information. So those things are taking place now. Also, the non-strategic buying of the office supplies, small things, which doesn't require much of a technical expertise or negotiation or technical capabilities. Those things are moving into a regular online buying, and only the critical things are now being those where B2B salespeople are required. It has also affected the B2B buying process. Now the e-commerce, online presence of the organizations, websites, email marketing, all those things have started nowadays. Now customers have started interacting with Zoom and Skype and M-Teams and all those things since the COVID period. Now the roles of salespeople, which is most critical in the B2B sales process. Now they must form a collaborative partnership with their clients, because now they have to provide solutions with empathy and ensure that with the minimal number of interactions, they are giving a solution. So they are become more of a solution provider now. Now to survive and grow in this post-COVID world, businesses must do these things. They should reach out to the customers creatively. The regular conventional ways are not going to work hereafter. So creative work is required on that front. Accelerated adoption and sustenance of the digital technologies required, because now it is going to go a long way. empathy with the customers. The teams need to be agile and flexible to handle each kind of situation and meet out the customer's requirement. Now, how it has affected the B2B salesperson, which is critical component in the B2B sales process. Now, with the online transactions, managers need to ensure that the sales team they are handling, they are displaying the best of their behaviors. Their performance criteria needs to be changed considering the online interaction. Goal setting also needs to be revised considering the online transaction, and they must display the consultative sales approach. Agility and flexibility, as I have explained in the previous slide, it has become one of the criteria for the Salesforce now. And now we need cross-functional agile sales team, the technical people who can sell and sales team who are technically capable. The current B2B digital sales process will present opportunities to improve in the ways how we reach our customer, how we increase the sales productivity, how we lower the cost and handle different challenges as far as the behavior aspect of the people is concerned. With this, I end my presentation. I hope I was sticking to the timelines. So if there are any questions, we'll be happy to answer to the best of my capabilities.
Thank you very much. Very short and crispy, very informative as well as non-provoking. Thank you
sir.
sir, from the entire team. We have lined up.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. Thanks
Thank
for the
you
opportunity.
very much, sir. And thank you for being here. It's our pleasure and it's our great honor, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we have Ashish Kumar Mishra, line up few more also. Satya Kalyani, then Angelina Christina, then Sangeeta, then Sandhya J. These are the people we have lined up and they are going to present, and definitely it will be a great one, and they will share the content which is enriched in all aspects of research as well as the subject. Now I will request. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I am Professor Moholkar Avinash. Yeah, I a bit joined late. I had asked one of the other, Mr. Ashish Mishra, to present. So I will be giving the brief gist of the paper. First of all, congratulations to you all for conducting such a nice event on the given theme, particularly pandemic, during the COVID pandemic, how everyone and institutes, colleges, we suffered. So basically, my paper is not related to your theme, but it is a technical little bit related to the super elements, super capacitors, etc. I will share my PPT just now.
Yeah, so thank you. Mr. Avinash, sorry,
Yeah.
Kumar Mishra just pinged me that
he got some work, and I also just got free few minutes before. So basically, this is related to the energy related aspect, super elements, super capacitor, super inductor, super conductors, etc. So these elements are well known to the every engineering fraternity. These are the passive elements, basic elements, and name given is super element because of their large amount of quantity or value. For example, super capacitor, which is rated in few hundred to few thousand farads. Similarly, inductor normally rated at Henry, millihenry or microhenry. So their ratings can be as high as Henrys also. So how these devices, passive devices, can be utilized for energy storages and other applications? They are already in some applications. So my contents will be the basic of super elements, application of super elements, conclusion, acknowledgement, references. What are super elements? Super elements are electrical elements with highest possible values. As I said, super conductors having a very high amount of conductivity, almost negligible resistance. Superinductors having values in henries, several hundred henries. Supercapacitors, several hundred farads, and their utilization or applications are tremendous in future. So I will just highlight some of the aspects and application on these super elements. Supercapacitor, which are different than normal capacitors, basic capacitors, electrostatic capacitors, and they store the energy in the double layer. Means one capacitor forms two parts of the subcapacitances. So basically, these are large power storing devices, but only drawback is that this power they release in a few seconds or fraction of the time. So how the advantage of such large or bulk power can be utilized in certain applications, particularly, for example, batteries, which are large energy storage devices. But so far as bulk or pulse power supply is concerned, their useful life get deteriorated with reference to the pulse power or maximum power. For example, batteries used in the cranking of automobile, so their useful life is depend nothing but a number of cycles, charge discharge cycles. So these capacitors will be a great help in that case. So their higher values, super element we are calling, is tremendously advantageous in such hybrid applications. Superconductors, as we know, they are being researched from long time, and they are it literally has got zero resistance, and they use magnetic resonance principle, and they also find lot many applications, particularly in the power transmission, superconducting power transmission, magnetic levitations, etc. Another element is superinductors. They have a very high value of inductance, and but most importantly, these inductors, they are the source of pulse voltage, as it is mentioned here. They are the source of pulse voltage, and supercapacitor, they are the source of pulse current, or you can say pulse power. So if we can combine these two elements, superinductor and supercapacitor, so we can derive the combined advantage in such applications where you need bulk power or peak power for short duration, and you need small amount of power but large amount of energy for longer durations. So these three elements are briefly presented here. Now, why study these super elements? These supercapacitors, for example, they have a unique characteristic of getting charged quickly and discharge also quickly. Another important point, they store the energy very fast, and deep discharge cycle is possible. So therefore, most of the engineers, energy, particularly energy storage technology and researchers working in that, they are focusing on these supercapacitors to be used as a pulse power devices in various applications. Another important point is their application in hybrid energy storage devices, particularly, as I said, electric vehicles for future technological demands to optimize the battery sizes. We all know that the battery sizes increases with the supply of bulk power. Yeah. Hello. Superinductors. They are laminated cores, and they can be designed under various operating temperature conditions to suit the requirement of high inductance. We also know that the high inductance is the requirement in electrical devices, particularly power devices, in transformer or in the machines and other applications. So aim was to bring out the overview of all these super elements and how these can be combined using these elements: supercapacitor, superinductor, supercapacitor, superconductor, for the future applications. Some of the applications are depicted on in the slide. Here I will conclude my brief presentation. Topic is very vast, so therefore I will restrict my this presentation in case of the overview and all these aspects of the super elements comprising of supercapacitors, superinductors, and superconductors. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thanks.
Different subject and a different angle.
Yeah, that's why I said it is a altogether topic. But I will share my personal experience of teaching during the COVID pandemic. During the COVID pandemic, almost our classes were online from the home, and students were in their homes or in the hostels. So I conducted their class test, test, other practical tests through online. That mode I found very convenient, and that pandemic taught us many lessons during this COVID period, that how to inculcate digitization among the students, how to use various forums and various technological things available in the digital arena. So we successfully conducted all these tests. For example, if I want to conduct a class test, short class test for half an hour or 15 minutes, objective type or practical oral, I used to give them a question paper, 10-15 questions. Questions were meticulously drafted. It was not easy to trace in the book or in the notes. So those who have studied, they were only able to answer. And I used to send them just 5 minutes before on the WhatsApp and mail. They used to open within 5 minutes and they write on the plain paper answers of that. And I gave them 5 minutes to submit that paper through photocopy on the WhatsApp as well as through mail. And then I used to correct that. So I found anyhow that was the need of the hour during the pandemic, and it was very good. I found it very successful to assess the students from the distance place. So these are my personal expertise. Same thing goes to the practical also, orals and term work. So it is a good topic you have selected for this, and thank you very much. Whatever I could bring out in short period of time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you. Now we have lined up few more participants.
Sir, excuse me, am I audible to you, sir?
Yeah.
I'm Narasimha Prasad, assistant professor. Actually, I want to give my presentation on the tourism industry impact of COVID. If time permits, please allow me, sir, at last at least.
Sure.
You didn't announce my name.
Yeah. I'm going to announce that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Now next we are having Satya Kalyani, then we have Angela, Christina, then Sangeeta, then Sandhya J, and Narasimha Prasad. These are the presenters who are lined up.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. When you asked, I first volunteered. I think you're missing my name for the second time. This is Chris M. Jayachandran here.
Yeah, Chris. Sorry.
No problem, sir. Just wanted to remind you. Yeah, thank you.
Chris M. Jayachandran,
Yes,
right?
that's right, sir. Yes, sir.
Might be there is some correction issue. Sorry, I have.
No problem, sir.
Now we have lined up the sequence will be Satya Kalyani, then Chris M. Jayachandran, then Sangeeta, then Sandhya J, and Narasimha Prasad. These are the presenters who are lined up. Who is going to present right now?
Sir, good evening, sir. I'm Kalyani, sir, from Hyderabad. Good evening.
10 minutes and you're present.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening, Dr. Kumar Dutt sir, Mr. Dr. Atul Kumar sir, Dr. Jaikar sir, and all the participants. I'm Kalyani. I'm working with St. Mary's Centenary Degree College, Secunderabad, as Dean Academics. It is my privilege to associate with this conference, international conference. Today, I'm going to present some important views on impact of COVID-19 on startups in India. So everyone knows that startup is one of the important buzzword that we have seen, especially it gained importance from 2016. Entrepreneurship is such an area that it is not only create employment opportunities, it also helps to improve the GDP of the country. So if you see in the year 2022, around 19,000 startups are recognized by the Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So India's startup economy has been growing since 2016, with the number of businesses are mushrooming rapidly across the country. So to support and sustain the growth, the Indian government launched the Startup India initiative. As of 2022, there are around 80,000 plus startups have been officially recognized by the government. So if you see what is the business environment, and nowadays people are talking about unicorn companies. So we have promising vast number of business organizations which are predominantly micro enterprises, then medium enterprises and small scale enterprises. And most of these enterprises are situated or located in the rural areas. With the number of startup investment deals remained more less stable between 2017 and 20, startup funding saw a depreciation in value due to the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, once the COVID third wave has ended, it again gained a momentum into 2019. So if you see what are the leading startup sectors and unicorns, we have seen that the fields that held in the lion's share of the overall number of startups in the country were enterprise technology, followed by health and education sector. India has had the second highest number of unicorns in the Asia Pacific region, with the market valuation of under $10 billion in 2021. So if you see what are the statistics that are related to MSMEs and startup in India exclusively between 2019 and 2021 data, our startups have a GDP in our country of around 30.27%, and there are 63.39 million micro, small, medium enterprises are there in India, and 50% industrial workers in India are employed by Microsoft medium enterprises, and 97% micro enterprises are there in MSME sectors. Among MSMEs, there are 90% micro enterprises are there, and there are still 94% of micro enterprises are still unregistered with the government, and most of the MSMEs are with the trading sector, and 66% of the micro enterprises have been affected with the lockdown, and number of female population working with these MSME sectors are 9%. And there are around 31 to 35 years age group of the people are working, and most of the founders of the startups are having engineering background. And as far as the India's rank in World Bank Ease of Doing Business report is concerned, we are in 63rd rank out of 190 countries, and we have private equity deal volume in India of $26.3 billion. And the total number of jobs that are provided by the startup ecosystem is between 1.6 to 1.7 lakhs. And we have 11% growth in the number of incubators and accelerators which are supporting the startup in India. So these are the basic statistics which are related to the startups. If you see during the COVID-19, when Nirmala Sitharaman Madam, the financial minister, has announced Atmanirbhar Bharat packages, she also has given a new definition for MSME sectors, where micro enterprises are considered those enterprises which has an investment of less than 1 crore and which has made a turnover of less than 5 crores. Whereas small enterprises are considered to be those enterprises which has an investment of less than 10 crores and made a total turnover of less than 50 crores. Whereas the medium enterprises are considered to be those organizations which has an investment of less than 20 crores and a total turnover of more than 100 crores. So if you see what are the reforms that are offered by the Indian government to support these micro, small, medium enterprises during COVID-19, the collateral-free loans to more than was provided to more than 45 lakhs for Microsoft Medium Enterprises to a value of 3 lakh crores. In the same way, 50,000 crores was provided through equity infusion through MSME fund of funds, and 20,000 crores was provided in the form of subordinate debt for stressed MSMEs, and 200 crore rupees was spent for disallowance of global tenders for supporting self-reliant India initiatives. And the time frame also has been fixed for MSME receivables from government and other parties. If you have seen other statistics which are related to the startups, half of the Indian startups are in the serious danger due to COVID-19. So if you can able to explain the reasons, 38% of the startups are suffering with out of funds, and 12% of the startups have the incubation or the starting period of less than 1 month, and 30% of the startups are between 1 to 3 months, and 4% of the startups have shut down their business due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In the same way, if you see what is the state of the Indian startup economy according to 2022, the recent calendar year, there are around 84,000 startups that were recognized by Department of Promotion of Indian Trade. In the same way, there are 5K plus funded startups are available in India, and our startup system has been recognized as the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. And we have $136 billion funds are being raised among the startups since 2014, and we have 108 unicorns are there in India, and 103 unicorns are about to become in future. There are 9.3K plus active investors are available in India, and we have 18 listed US technology-based companies are available in India, and these startups are providing 8.6 direct jobs. So if you see the contribution wise, which state is contributing to the startup more to the startup ecosystem, 37.4% share is contributed by Maharashtra. Then Telangana is providing 9.1%, Kerala is providing 9.6%, Karnataka is having a share of 12%, Delhi is having a share of 20%, and Tamil Nadu is having a share of 8%. In the same way, if you see the industry-wise new membership to the startup unicorn in India, you can able to see various sectors are there. Among these sectors, the major contributor is IT, which is having 22%, and followed by fintech sector is having around 22% of the startups, and media and entertainment 11% startups are there, and pharmaceutical sector 11% of the startups are available in India. And you can able to see in 2022, the one more report has been taken that there are number of mergers and acquisitions. There are around 240 mergers and acquisitions have been taken place among the Indian startups, which is the highest from the past 10 years data, if you have taken. So with this given information, what are the initiatives that are taken by the government and other agencies to support the micro, small, medium enterprises during the COVID-19 crisis? If you take the Khadi and Village Industries Corporation, they have released 1,000 rupees per month to each registered artisan from the Artisan Welfare Fund to their bank accounts in 3 installments. In the same way, they have released funds under market development assistance to Khadi institutions and artisans to direct bank transfer. In the same way, National Small Industries Corporation, they have also provided raw material assistance against bank guarantee before 2020 and allowed a moratorium of 3 months for the repayment of outstanding dues. In the same way, accounts of MSMEs to be frozen to avoid outstanding in the banks. In the same way, single point registration system, enlistment certificates, which are to be expired between 1st of March to 30th of June, has to be continued, and 50% discount was provided for the annual membership in MSME Mart has been extended, and God owns of essential commodities like polymers in field offices allowed to carry out operations. In the same way, what are the changes that we have seen which provided to the MSMEs during and post lockdown? There is a relaxation of liquidated damages clause for a period of 2 months from the schedule of delivery, execution of order that may be allowed. At the same time, for delayed payments, the Railway Board may be approached for quick intermediation and resolution of pending payments, even through it is pending with the Micro and Small Enterprises Felicitation Committee. In the same way, for meeting fixed cost, state governments can be approached to exempt or reimburse the electricity and other fixed charges during this period. The same way, Ministry of Finance to have asked to check escalation of raw material price by reduction in the GST rates on the raw material. The same way, the Department of Revenue was asked to resolve issues of financial or statutory complaints like filing of GST returns in time. In the same way, the credit support was provided to MSME sector via moratorium period of 6 months for the repayment of debts, and the NPS period in the bank has been extended to 180 days for the next 2 years. So what are the key policy regulations and initiatives that were taken by the government, especially in the last calendar year? If you see, they have proposed to launch India's indigenous mobile operating system policy to grow brand India. Government is very keen in Make in India and Made in India policy. They have proposed to set up an Indian Data Management Office to frame new data policy. In the same way, and they have announced to roll out Digital India Startup Hub program to help Indian youth startup bandwagon. And NITI Aayog has been launched, and they have launched National Data Analytics Platform to make data accessible to the public. In the same way, SEBI has reduced holding period for pre-issue capital and allowed discretionary allotment to eligible investors to boost listing of startups. And the same way, NITI Aayog has been set up a $5 billion fund to support the adoption of electronic vehicles in India. In the same way, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji have launched several digital initiatives like Digital India Bhashini, Digital India Genesis, and Indian Stock Global. So SEBI also has joined Reserve Bank of India account aggregator framework. So startups threshold for the paid up capital and turnover has increased to not more than 4 crore Indian rupees and not exceeding over 40 crore rupees respectively. So these are the various government's initiatives. And we know that in 2023, we have seen Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of India, and we have a vision for India at 80 years. So it is one of the crucial visions for the government, and we expect that 2023 is going to be the golden year for the startups. It is expected that access to primary education, healthcare, and water are the important short-term challenges that the country is aiming to resolve in the next 5 years. This is where Indian startups have to play a key role. Further, India with the leading the G20 presidency, 2023 is thus seen to be a golden year for the startups. In 2023, Indian experts anticipated more Indian startups crossing the international borders and securing foreign direct investments. As the Indian startup economy is facing the chills of the funding winter, experts see more innovative business models emerging the next year. So here I would like to conclude that over the past 2 years, India has witnessed the inflow of extra cash that is resulting in drawing massive investment to Indian startups, including some making the initial public offers launched exceedingly profitable. As growth stage investors such as Tiger Global, Court, and SoftBank have quit the market, startup values have fluctuated at a high speed. So there are several startups who are valued based on price rather than their vision. And now it is a challenge to contend with the harsh realities of the natural world, which values businesses based on free cash flows. So the scenario is likely to persist for the next 12 to 18 months until the economy begins to reset to the new normal. Meanwhile, the challenge to startup CEOs is to focus on achieving quantifiable achievements and genuine business payoffs, making the time and engrossing the Indian startup ecosystem. So startups will definitely have a golden future in 2023. The business organizations need to focus on the Digital Bharat, Make in India, and Made in India initiatives, and create their business ventures to overcome the problems which are faced by the India, so that it could further contribute to the growth of the GDPs and creation of new employment opportunities in India. So I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Wonderful presentation. One of the motivational kind of presentation. will say. Definitely a startup India will do a certain great thing and cross $1 trillion economy near future. Your presentation really inspire us, inspire the young generation to carry on something new venture and work for that. Thank you, Satyalakshmi.
Thank you so much, sir.
Your research-oriented, knowledge-provoking, will say presentation based on the pure primary data. Thank you very much. You will get 10 out of 10 marks. Thank you. Now we have Chris M. Jayachandra, then we have Sangeeta, then Sandhya J. and
Excuse
Narasimha.
me, sir.
Yeah.
So you said Angela all the while. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yeah. You are going to present?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
And with your permission.
Let Angela madam do, then I would proceed.
No, Chris will present, and after that, Angela will.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
I just jumbled the name because broke out. Chris is
Sure,
common
sir.
both the names. That's why I actually jumbled.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kumar sir. Thank you, Angela madam.
So present after the.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, Chris, you are having only 5 minutes. Present.
Got it,
and-
sir. So, very esteemed organizer, or Dr. Kumar Datta sir, and the other research scholars and eminent academicians, a very pleasant evening to you. I think I've consumed 30 seconds already out of the 5 minutes given. This particular work, a small deck of slides that I'm about to walk you all through, talks about the fourth and the final stage of our research work. The topic of this particular chapter is applying a novel DDPK machine learning algorithm that would diagnose a sort of developmental disorder, and would give the output which the clinicians and the psychological professionals would be able to use it. Well, I pursue my research from the University of Madras under the supervision of Dr. K. Shamla. Well, so let's try understanding. Let's try understanding what personality disorder is all about. If a person persistently thinks and behaves in a way that is detrimental to his or her own growth, and it causes a lot of a disruption where he lives, where he works, then the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders categorically says that the person might suffer from some personality disorder. And again, personality disorder is one of the developmental disorders like ADHD, but the PD, personality development disorder, can only be diagnosed with adults at least 16 years and above. Good. So when there are 10 personality disorders that are categorized in cluster A, cluster B, and cluster C, there is also a chance that a person is wrongly being diagnosed to suffer from a personality disorder when the person actually has either anxiety disorder or depression disorder. For this reason, every healthcare professional is compelled or may have to equip himself or herself with the ability to do the differential diagnosis once the onset of personality disorders would be showing up with an individual who is presenting with a lot of complications. As per the DSM-5 manual being released in the year 2013, if a person does not suffer from any psychotic disorder, or did not have an episode of post-traumatic stress disorder, or does not have substance abuse problem, then if a person is revealing some symptoms and he is having some problem, then there can be two possibilities. One is anxiety disorder, the other is depression disorder. So every mental health care professional, be it a psychiatrist or a counselor or a mentor, is supposed to equip themselves to understand how they can go ahead and do the differential diagnosis. But this requires a lot of specialty, experience, and wisdom to zero in whether the person is suffering not from personality disorder but from anxiety and depression disorder. For that, what we have done is we have done some background work, and we realized that it was early in the 1980s until that particular period in India, personality pathology, there has not been one research article. Nobody has thought about personality disorder can actually have an enduring impact on somebody's lifestyle throughout. So what we have done is we have administered a self-reporting personality inventory, and it was administered to 503 participants. From them, we could mobilize around 25,150 data points. All the data points were aggregated by using 50 questions. Out of these 50 questions, some questions may be overlapping with different personality disorders that would belong to different clusters, cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. For example, in cluster A we have paranoid personality disorder. In cluster B we have avoidant personality disorder. So some symptoms may be overlapping. So the idea of differential diagnosis is that like taking a second opinion whether the person might end up suffering from any other disorder. That's the whole idea. So we have zeroed in on 8 questions that were distributed across 3 different clusters for depression and for anxiety, and for depression we have zeroed in on 6 questions. So these 6 questions would be spanning across the 3 clusters. So now the algorithm has to be developed, and it has to make sure that it is able to diagnose the onset or the existing condition. Now there is a problem. What is wrong with making the subject or the person to undergo some laboratory test? But technically no biomarkers or any diagnostic procedures administered in lab would conclusively predict that the person is having any developmental disorder. For example, for ADHD with children, we don't depend on any biomarkers or any laboratory report. It is only through questionnaire or listening to the caregivers and identifying the person's behavior by doing a structured interview that can be done. So our approach is not to depend on any biomarkers or diagnostic procedures even for grown-up adults. Rather depend on the personality inventory and try making use of an algorithm that learns and then it comes up with the diagnostic prediction. So the program, the machine learning code that we wrote, this particular chart talks about the execution time, the different code block. So this particular screenshot talks about the percentage with which the algorithm is trying to predict whether a person has the differential diagnosis and onset. Out of the people 503 participants, up to 86.3 people do not have the differential diagnosis at all. That means that they may be suffering from avoidant personality disorder or any other personality disorder, and there is a possibility that people might suffer from a mild anxiety or depression disorder. The algorithm is also able to come up with that cluster. So this is being represented using a pie diagram. Then the algorithm also gives a numerical figure. Out of the 503 people, 4 suffer from anxiety disorder, and 22 suffer from mild depressive disorder, and 430 people do not suffer from any disorder at all. The below diagram talks about the bar depiction of the very functioning of the algorithm. So there are some performance measures when a researcher develops an algorithm, and there are some established performance algorithms measures that must be subjected to understand the efficiency of the algorithm. So we have subjected our algorithm, the DDPK algorithm, to go through some rigorous measurement check. The results are all interpreted to be acceptable and par excellence at some scales as well. This talks about how separated the clusters are and how independently the symptoms are captured and other things. Conclusions, our research work predominantly focuses on not dependent on any laboratory or diagnostic procedure, so with which easily a caregiver or a parent or even teacher can report to the school psychological counselor, with which the onset or the existing condition with a child or with the college going adult can be identified easily, and the corrective measures can be initiated well in time, so that people do not end up having any chronic disorder as they grow up. And that is how we are trying to wind up our research towards the end process. And I got about references. As of now, no such work has already been carried out, and that has been well amplified in our chapter sections. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for the opportunity, and I would be happy to address any queries.
Thank you very much. Any query from the participant?
Yeah, wonderful, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, can I ask you one question, sir?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, is personality disorder a brain disorder?
Could you please repeat it, ma'am? Is personality disorder
yeah, brain disorder?
No, it is not a brain disorder, ma'am. Personality disorder, is location specific as well. For example, I take the liberty of talking about this Western culture, dating or going out with the opposite gender. That will start early, when the people are reaching the puberty in the West. Whereas here, it is going to be wrong. So in the West, it would be quite unusual that a girl or a boy does not have a pair, to go to the school promo events or other things. But here, if a girl in the Indian society, if a girl frequently is being identified to get along well with the boy, probably and she keeps on changing the friends for no reason, a disorder. Therefore, personality disorders are not brain disorders. They are how a person behaves, how he thinks, and how irrelevant for him the whole situation is. So he does not consider. So that is the answer to your question, ma'am.
Yeah, good explanation. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Now we welcome Angela Christina for the presentation. Then after that we have Sangeeta, then Sandhya J, and Narasimha Prasad. Anybody would like to add? Just ping me on my personal window. We'll take care of that. Angela ma'am, over to you. Welcome. And I personally apologize, I missed you.
No, absolutely no, sir, please. In fact, I deem it a privilege to be here in this platform. Actually, I am a budding researcher, so there's lots to learn more than what I speak. Definitely what I speak will be a nursery level content.
Old person like me. Yeah.
So with your permission, I begin, sir. I would, let me introduce myself. I'm Mrs. Angela Christina, and Assistant Professor, St. Mary's Centenary Degree College, Secunderabad. To begin with, I always begin with a note of gratitude. Thank you very much, sirs. To have a list, the enlisted here is Dr. Kumar Dutt, the Managing Director. Then I have Dr. Atul Kumar and Dr. Jaikar. Thank you so much, because I guess I was the last one to enter into this, because this morning is what I was registered. So I seriously, sincerely thank you so much for this opportunity. I shared my screen. I hope I am seen. Yes. My topic for today is post-COVID paradigms. To begin with, I would prefer splitting the topic where COVID, post-COVID, both these are an absolute paradigms to understand the value of language, the culture of language. Every language has a culture encompassed within it. To get into the outline, I would go by, the first one is the fluctuating quality that speaks the stance of language and its culture through the COVID and post-COVID eras. I also have nature of education through COVID. Then there is transformation of conventionalism. What exactly is conventionalism? Or you talk about conventionalism tete-a-tete with modernism. And you also have the changing roles of a teacher, coming down to the contagious effect of the online system, which was the mantra of existence in those eras and now too. We have other points to discuss, that is about dominance of online system, then broadening perspective of language ethics, and the role of soft skills. To get into a serious understanding of these concepts, I begin with the nature of education that was through the COVID. Definitely, no doubt, COVID, like the instant noodles, was an instant tree that got implanted without anyone's knowledge. And the only thing that surmounted was the fear of the unknown. And definitely, as time passed, here I would vouch for people's flexibility, people's adaptive quality, which is the first scope for soft skills. So there I begin. Every COVID phase, be it 1, 2, or the post-COVID phase, there has always been, the stress on educational institutions. There was always where the effect was very raw, and no doubt, though the effect being raw, but still we have had, as the academicians, we had taken the challenge, we fought for the challenge, and we've lived the challenge with consistency, maintaining with the quality. But though we are filled with quality, there's always the history that hits us back. And that is where the post-COVID, giving us a very short gist. Here, what we did was we tried to retrieve the conventional school environment, but was not possible. I'm sure all of you agree to this. No matter what, we are trying to regain the talent of students. We are trying to regain their mind span. We are trying to regain them bodily, physically, psychologically, and everything. But somewhere, we are failing this. Coming down, we also have, we are resetting the modes of education, which is still under process. No doubt, it is almost like the L&T metro system, which took years. And we also will be taking years to get back the originality. To get the conventionalism, though in the modes of teaching strategy or in the modes of classroom environment, which is, now ingrained by the COVID vaccine that is called home culture basis. So no doubt, these are the common areas where all the academicians are trying to battle with. No doubt there is a use of ICT going on. No doubt there is a techno-based education system that is now inculcated. There is, the use of ICT. There is a use of Google in various ways, network in various ways. Wi-Fi is the mantra that we get into. Without Wi-Fi, without mobile, I'm sure we all are paralyzed. In fact, the actual sense of paralysis is the subset of this, I guess. But having all this, having said and done about all these, we can get into transformation of conventionalism, where you have the conventionalism, that is the chalk talk style of lectures, or the book and the test system of evaluation. Keeping all these things in mind, let us hold it or bridge it with the COVID structure. Coming down to the COVID structure, everything has a drastic change. Be it the classroom environment. Classroom environment has changed from the bench to the monitor. You have no self-control. Initially, we were under the continuous process, continuous monitoring of the lecturers, of the teachers, of the parents. But now we are under a control system of that laptop, the technology. And somewhere our comprehensive skills have got rigid, stagnated. Definitely, there is no scope of self-analysis, self-thinking that is now coming into practice. Everything we say, Jai Bolo Google ki. And coming down, we have the techno mode of education. I am sorry, I'm taking this as an example, but this very workshop, this very international conference, had it been, the manual types, it would have been way too different. But now we, for our self-growth, have reformed the conventionalism and feel it more convenient, feel it more comfortable to present it on an online platform like this. I'm sure, over the times, the COVID has not just changed the world, it has changed the education system. So when it is changing the education system, it has even changed the teachers. And the role of teachers, definitely all the teachers out there will definitely embrace any challenge that comes their way. And COVID was a strong challenge for us. But yes, we have embraced it with heights of optimism. We have labored digitally. We have developed e-content. 200% of hard work was put in, either during COVID or now also. Now it is double, because then we had only digitalized work. Conventionalism was only with the manual labor. But now the post-COVID system is the cusp of both. You have the digitalized labor, encompassed with the manual labor. So here it is double the work that every teacher does. And no doubt, like the corporates, we are 24/7 mentors. They instill with the work from home system, but we instill the system of mentor from home. So come what may, we are there available for them. Talking about the online system of education, you have, I would only call 3 points in this. One is the chalk talk system has changed to Google Classroom, Zoom, Google Meet, mobile phones. Mobile phones have become the class books. Zoom and Google Meets have become our classrooms, and instead of we disciplining ourselves, we discipline the Wi-Fi. We ensure that the Wi-Fi is controlled. That's when we are controlled by it. Thankfully, every phase has pros and cons, and this also has a few pros and cons. And that is where, the teachers, though we have combined labor involved, but we still have ICT aids which help us in the long run. Definitely, it makes our work easier. A little labor that we put in, it helps us in the long way, having it stored as an archive in our Google Classrooms. Coming down to the dominance, this no doubt is a mother-in-law treatment, if you ask me, because if you observe, the language has the British, dominance has come down since their inception of language, and language slowly, as in developing from the embryo to the birth of the fetus. It was in the incubation period. It encroached. It started to rule with the culture, and the culture that was in progress was no doubt but the Western culture. Eventually, India has picked up, since 1947, India has picked up the language. But over the time, there was a drastic change of language with the Western culture. That's something, where we are imitating. The law of imitation becomes very evident in that spectrum. Coming down, you always have this language, English language, then was an official outlook with formal etiquettes. Now English, I'm sorry, I don't believe in that, because we have become so casual. We have become COVIDal, in fact, because all the COVID systems, all the COVID culture that we have imbibed, because it was a self, rejuvenating process, self-sustenance process. That is where we have changed the language and its culture according to our need. And there, the language pride of the British slowly is diminishing. In fact, it is getting fragmented with the online system of language. There you have the monitor-based education, you have the ICT aids, you have the flexible content that is anywhere, everywhere. You can serve the Google Scholar, you can serve the Googles, in fact, you can score anywhere, everywhere. The search engines are ready for you to make you lazier and less creative. Coming down to, as I said, you have, the broadened perspectives of the language ethics. I have already mentioned language has a culture, and the culture definitely has some rules. And that rule talks about the ethics that gets encompassed in defining the language in its complete sense. Coming down, the post-COVID period has completely revamped the language, its stature, its structure, from conventionalism into modernism. Modernism, I don't call it formal, I call it semi-formal. It is also, got into the computer-based understanding, because the computer has a different set of language, segments that they have to follow. And so you see how the language is getting formulated according to our understanding, according to the, the network's understanding, and according to the receiving ends understandings modes. You have the techno indulgence, where whatever we do, we need Google in our hands. Whatever we do, we have WhatsApp in our hands. And that is where we try to see the techno indulgence in everything the students and the teachers are taking up, be it their project work, be it their presentation, be it, their evaluation assessment boards. Also, you find them preparing from the techno searches only. Coming down, you have new formulated language techniques from formal to semi-formal, which I've already told. But here you have English, which is redefined as, Indian English. You have redefined as Hyderabadi English. You have redefined it as Secunderabadi English. So you have fragmented English according to your choice-based need. That is where the language is slowly getting shaped into a different, paradigm, where it becomes a model for the world to see. No doubt, it is still accepted because it goes way too far, having the base source English. Coming down, you have the last slide to take over, that is the soft skills, which talks about a soft skill is a skill set which defines a person into defining a proper personality. No doubt, it is an involuntary learning. You observe and learn, you observe your mentors, you observe your parents, you observe the culture and start imbibing. Soft skills is definitely not to be imparted. But here, the stress I am giving you here is language, especially English, has formal soft skills. No doubt we are adapting to this culture. No doubt we are leading into this culture. No doubt we are going efficient in this arena. But still, all this is rooted with having a soft skill stronger than the language. So I would conclude saying Language is the roadmap of culture. It tells you where people come from and where they are going. Thank you. I end it here. Any questions, please?
Thank you very much. One of the best presentation what we have seen to the day. We are going to record everything and it will be available on YouTube also, so that people can, those who have missed, they can learn it, they can understand it.
I deem it an honor, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Then we have Sangeeta, then Sandhya J, and Narsimha Prasad. These three people are there. Anybody who remains, just give me on my personal window so that we can include for the presentation.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to congratulate you all on the success of this platform. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Just a second, I will share my screen. Can you all see this, sir?
Yeah, very well.
Yes. So today my topic would be navigating the effect of social media on soft skills. I'm Sangeeta. I'm working as an assistant professor in St. Mary's Centenary Degree College, and I'm a research scholar from University of Technology, Jaipur. And so my topic is navigating the effect of social media on soft skills. With technology, we can achieve the unimaginable. And my research paper discusses the importance of incorporating technology in education to enhance the teaching and learning experience, especially in 21st century education. And this emphasizes the need for educators to embrace emerging technologies and use them effectively to improve students' soft skills such as teamwork, problem solving, time management, etc. And it also highlights the growing significance of aesthetic labor and how employers hire workers based on their appearance and communication skills. Furthermore, it emphasizes the importance of soft skill in various industries, including effective communication, active listening, empathy, teamwork, so on, which will be added value in their workers. And about technology, it is important for educators to have a positive outlook towards emerging technologies and to use them effectively to have a teaching and learning experiences and to improve students' soft skills. And by incorporating the latest technological advancements, educators can create more engaging and meaningful learning activities that benefit their students. So technology also has the greatest ability to expand the access to the education. And in that, social media, it has made it possible for the students to connect more than ever, particularly in these trying times when they are geographically separated from their friends, families, and classmates. That is after the post-COVID times. And also, it can have a negative effect on their physical and mental health, even though it offers many advantages, including the opportunity of creative expression, learning chances, and the chance of connecting with others. It is simple to develop an addiction, and studies have shown that students who use social media excessively may experience a variety of problems like poor sleep, so on. And teenagers can develop social networks, communicate with others, and establish online personas thanks to social media. Teenagers also use social media for their self-expression and amusement. So the effect of this, or the way how we get the role of social media in soft skills. So where it comes about the skills. So basically skills are of two kinds. It is hard skills and soft skills. Hard skills is the academic qualifications, and soft skills are that which can be seen in our personality. Like employers hire workers based on their communication skills and many other like time management, teamwork, leadership skills, so on. Because they are soft skills are integral to various industries, encompassing people skills like communication, teamwork, which companies value their workers. Teachers should react to the changing scenario and equip themselves to meet the need of the hour. And at this critical moment, English teachers have a crucial responsibility to connect the current curriculum with the requirements of the corporate world. And the next would be, what is the adverse effect of the social media on students? So as we said, like, technology should improve your life, not become your life. We all know how it feels to tell ourselves we just check our notifications on social media, and before we realize it, we have been mindlessly scrolling for hours. When using a device, we blink less. When we combine with blue light, can cause eye strain and exhaustion. And according to the research in 2019, more than 6,500 12 to 15-year-olds in the US, those who use social media for more than 3 hours per day may be more likely to experience mental health issues. And more than 12,000 13 to 16-year-olds in England participated in the same study that showed that using social media more than 3 times per day are associated with poor mental health, use well-being in teenagers. Other research have found association between heavy social media use and signs of depression or anxiety. More frequent social media use, nighttime social media use, and emotional investment in social media, such as getting upset and when you can't log in, were all associated with poor sleep quality and higher levels of anxiety and depression. So all this, and when the survey was done among 450 teenagers in the year 2016. And the effect of social media among teenagers could also vary. In 2015, in another research, they discovered a connection between teen use of social media and cell phones for social comparison and feedback seeking and depression symptoms. So, well, how can we do it? And there obviously there are even more advantages comparing to this. So, what can be the suggestions? By giving the sensible boundaries. That means by keeping an eye on the teen, that how they are using the social media and what are their hobbies, what are their time schedules, and keeping the phones and tablets out of their bedrooms are few of the things that we can do to avoid the over usage of social media. So finally, I want to say that by creating some awareness of soft skills through various activities and emphasizes the need to connect the current curriculum with the requirements of the corporate world. So technology is a useful servant, but a dangerous master too. So it all depends on the way how we use it and how we teach the students to use it in a better way. Thank you, and that's it. I'm done with this.
Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. So well managed and well carved presentation. You cover almost
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, positive, negative, both sides, and the solutions thereon. We really admire your work also. It's a wonderful
Thank you so much. My pleasure, sir. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Now we have Sandhya J and Narsimha Prasad, two presenters. Anybody who from the participant would like to present, just they can put their name in the chat box. We'll line up. Over to you, Sandhya ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, sir, for giving me an opportunity to present in this online forum. My presentation is more like a continuation of all these presentations and a combination of hybrid learning and English language learning. So I'll start my presentation. I'll just share my slide. Is it visible, sir? Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So after COVID, we all know that the traditional classroom has changed, and the shift has come from taken us from the traditional classroom to Google Classroom. Here in this presentation, when I say Google Classroom, it is not just the Google Classroom, but the digital classroom and e-learning altogether. So this study of mine will deal with how media leverages in English language teaching and learning in the wake of COVID-19. So as we all know, language is contemplated as an indispensable facet of human life. And it is a medium for communication and interaction. And that is which will help us to exhibit our conceptions, credence, and sensations. And that is which will allow us to associate with others. Apart from the educational and employment opportunities which English language skills gives us, we also have so many studies which talks about the impact of English language skills on individuals' personal development, confidence, improved communication skills, and a sense of self-awareness. And so the researchers say that English language teaching is very important for not only just the individuals, but also for the society. So how was this English language teaching and learning prior to COVID-19? As we all know, it was just the face-to-face environment, and it involved methodologies and strategies like communicative language teaching method, task-based language teaching method, and content and language integrated learning methods. There are so many other strategies too. And even before COVID-19, we had the influence of media. There was, we started incorporating media into English language teaching. And we had materials like audio and video materials, computer-assisted language learning programs, and even LMSs. But we all had so many limitations because most of the teachers were not trained to use all of those programs. But COVID-19 pandemic actually compelled every educator, especially English language teaching educators, to embrace digital technologies. So from classroom to Google Classroom, how was this shift? So traditional language classrooms, we were used to give importance to reading and writing skills. And if you had if you have a flashback of our own learning methods and learning process, we will realize that we started learning the language by learning the alphabets and memorizing new vocabulary, familiarizing ourselves with the grammar rules. And then the result was the detriment of speaking skills. We were very reluctant to speak and write even after 10 or 12 years of language learning experience. So this combination or this shift of traditional classroom to digital language classroom actually helped us to have more of dynamic and comprehensible approach to language instruction. And media-based language learning motivates the learners and provides a learner-centered environment. And researchers have found that this is more rewarding and authentic language acquisition resources, and it ameliorates the cognitive development of language learners. Importance is given to pronunciation and communication in addition to vocabulary acquisition, which was often ignored in the traditional classroom. So here we have overall language comprehension. That is an improvement, drastic improvement and dramatic improvement in the overall language comprehension of the learners. So these are all few avenues. I'm just quoting few avenues with the incorporation of media in ELT. I'm not covering all the avenues. So this first one is virtual learning or e-learning. So the most important advantage of virtual learning or e-learning is the high level of flexibility. You can use it anytime and anywhere. The learner can access the materials, resources anywhere, even outside the classroom, and it gives space for the learners to learn and read or listen to the conversation in their own pace of learning. So they were given limitless access to authentic materials such as podcasts, videos, and news articles, which gave more importance to the native proficiency. So in addition, the social media platforms also promoted language learning, and it gave opportunities to authentic language and interaction with native speakers. So social media based activities actually motivated and kept the language learners engaged till the end of the activities. So they were motivated throughout the activity. And a range of interactive learning experiences like online discussions, debates, and games allowed space or gave a platform for the learners to practice their language skills, engage with other learners, and then receive feedback from teachers. And teachers, on the contrary to the traditional classroom, can track the students' progress and provide personalized feedback, while learners can choose the materials and learning activities which will best suits their need and interest. If you would kind of compare it with the traditional classroom, learner had never had this option of choosing what they want or what they want to learn. But this option is provided by e-learning and virtual learning. The next type of media incorporated language learning strategy is gamification. As the title or the term suggests, it is all about the digital games incorporated into language learning system. So it is an emerging teaching or learning strategy which will stimulate the motivation and self-efficacy of the learner, and eventually, consequentially, we have learning outcomes too. And this is deemed to be an effective tool for language learning to develop their speaking and pronunciation skills, according to Beatty. And all these game-based activities are more encouraging, and it encourages the learners and keeps them motivated till the end. And we have elements like ledger boards, badges, rewards, points, and challenges, which actually gives the learners a sense of achievement and progress, and they have a safe and fun learning environment. But however, in this methodology, the teachers are expected to monitor the type and level of gamification, because some learner would be interested in some type of games and the other learner would not be interested in that. So it should be tailored to meet the learner's needs and preferences. And according to the study by various researchers, it enhances the learners' learning outcomes by increasing their engagement, motivation, and attention to the learning tasks. And the next type is hybrid learning. Hybrid learning actually encompasses many other types like a flipped classroom, blended classroom, inverted classroom, and so on. And this combines face-to-face and online learning. This is the period like after COVID. In this post-COVID era, hybrid learning is more trendy because we can hardly have the attention of the learners throughout just with the lecture or just with the face-to-face teaching. So by combining the technology and the lecture method, it homogenizes both traditional and digital classrooms. And here you have the learners have access to online and offline tools and resources. So such as video conferencing, learning management systems, and digital textbooks. And this complements and enhances the traditional teaching. And in this case also, it is more personalized and student-centered approach. And we have language learning apps, videos, and interactive exercises where the learners practice their language skills even outside the classroom. And the classroom time is exclusively dedicated for interactive and communicative activities such as discussions and debates and group projects. And in this method, the students or the learners actually unconsciously and unintentionally, they start learning the language because they get immersed in the language. So it is more of immersive language learning experience. And they also have a platform to interact with the English speakers from all over the world and practice their language skills in real life situations. So according to the study made by these people, like Kim, Lee, Spector, and Lai, and so on, the positive effects of hybrid learning is that it engages, it gives satisfaction, and it motivates the English language learners, especially after COVID. So to conclude, it is impossible for us to get back to the traditional classroom method. And this media actually provides a better environment for the learners, especially with respect to English language teaching and learning. And integration of media in English language teaching has become more important than ever. By leveraging media in ELT, teachers can provide students with authentic language input, opportunities for interaction and feedback, and the chance to practice language skills in real life context. And the use of media enhances their motivation and engagement, and it helps them to be more successful in the 21st century. And these are the references from which I've taken the ideas from. Any questions?
Any question from the participant? Thank you, Sandhya. One of the best presentation we've seen for the day. Really, very well. Thank you very much. We have Narasimha Prasad with us. Narasimha sir, over to you.
Good evening, sir. Am I visible to you?
Yeah.
Sir, good evening to all the dignitaries and present here and all the participants. I am Narasimha Prasad, working as assistant professor in NGIT Hyderabad and also a research scholar of KL University. I am really excited to be here to express the views on COVID-19, how it is affected the tourism sector especially. Now I want to share the screen, some of the important slides. So, sorry, just I think it's taking time. My slides are visible to you, sir? I'm audible, sir?
Yes, very well.
Okay, sir. All of you know the effects of COVID, especially on the industry of tourism, because many people have lost their employment. And the major problem is that we have lost the GDP, which we used to get through foreign exchange and all. The next thing is that the monuments, the heritage sites, tourism spots have been closed during this period, and there was no revenue out of this. And not only that, to maintain, it was a problem for all these things, and some of the places, even some illegal activities like poaching and hunting and other activities took place during this period. And it's a direct impact on the heritage and culture sector, because there is no such things were happened where the get-togethers and to call the foreign people to the different spiritual organizations. It was totally closed because of the aviation problems, and so culture of the country was not, we were not able to establish to them. And especially employment, especially women employment, about 54% of women, even though they were employed in the small nature of jobs, they suffered a lot. And decline of the tourist arrivals in India, it was started in February 2020. Lockdown was declared in late March 2020, and it forced the foreign travelers to drop their visits. That was caused a great impact on the country's economy. Tourism is actually one of the sectors most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And it not only affected the tourism, it affected the growth rate and GDP and foreign exchange, all these things, and employment and other aspects, the livelihood of people and public services. These are all the things which were affected due to this pandemic. Actually, tourist income was the major revenue for the government and to enhance the country's GDP. Actually, in India, over 87 million people were employed in this travel and tourism sector, because this not only tourism sector, because it has got links with the other chain links with other like food industry, like transportation, like aviation, and it is all depends on the total. So these are some of the guiding principles. The health of the citizens, it was to be looked after. It was to be given some protocols are to be made so that we can attract the foreigners by keeping the vigil of health and hygiene things. The law of enforcement also is also one important factor. The economic activity to preserve the sector is important, and the equity benefit for all. This is to be kept in mind. Everyone knows that coronavirus is serious effect in the entire world. It has faced, not only in India, because of the virus is effect in the human life. That's why we didn't expect any foreigner to visit India or any other part of the country due to the lockdown, and this affected the trading industries and the flying aviation, and the fly aviation badly affected because victims of this pandemic are mainly who are traveled in the flights. So this outbreak, however, caused a lot of problem, and in the travel industry, it is caused very badly, and takes a breath like a coronavirus patient. Now it is just taking a breath because it was totally down. Now we have to. I'm going to explain the recovery process, how this is to be done. Over 4 lakhs of people directly they were affected employment, and 19 lakhs they were indirectly who were serving as suppliers and all affected. Although the hotels, aviation, travel sectors together, total the loss amounts to rupees 85 billion amount, and which is a heavy amount in this process. Now, what are the proposed remedies? In coming years, what we have to do? So we need to set up a travel and tourism stability fund so that it will give some assurance to the employees, those who are depending on this, that is necessary with the help of the government, and maintain cost optimism is very much necessary so that operation levels, operation costs can be reduced, and at the same time we can promote the domestic tourism like road travels and some other things like that. Promoting domestic travel may add some recovery target for them, and giving some incentives to the customers and industry people, contractors and other people. See, government responsiveness must be more, because if this industry has to survive after the epidemic, the responsiveness must be from the government, because we are going to get the glory of our nation through the industry, and some technical innovations are to be made, and at the same time we must strive for the customer and employee confidence, and we must promote, I said already, the domestic tourism through rural tourism and road trips, etc. Then some more recovery plans, just I want to say here. Re-establish trust among the tourists. This we have lost it during the pandemic. So now it is the time to establish some trust and confidence among the tourists, among the customers. And we should highlight the protocols which we maintain through the travel for a healthy and hygienic way of life travels. and we should seek the government help to recover the industry. And not only that, we should help to give some tax benefits or substitutes or some incentives to industry players to survive the pandemic at this stage. The impact of the income actually estimated to be much more severe as compared to the impact in terms of loss of jobs because of the GDP. The main concern is about GDP. This could be due to the cut in salaries, which explains the huge loss in wage income and the much higher loss in non-wage income among business owners who did not just pay salaries to their staff, but were also required to incur the other committed expenditure like payments of rents, utility bills, maintenance, etc. So it's very much necessary to maintain the customer and employee confidence and satisfaction at this stage. So the final one, some of the recommendations already as I told, we have to adhere to all these protocols, whatever it is made, policy makers and users of the tourist industry. They should sit together and they should formulate some rules and regulations to make proper response for the recovery plans. These are the things which I don't want to take much time because we are already getting delayed. I'm very much thankful to the organizations for giving me the opportunity. Especially my thanks and gratitude to Mr. Kumar Das Gorge, who has been very kind to engage us, and not only that, talking to us, clarifying all the doubts. Thanks a lot to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. One of the best presentations. Thank you very much. Great one to see you. Anyone who is remain, will give the opportunity to present from the participant. No, now it's time to propose the vote of thanks. We must sincerely thankful to our resource person, Dr. Atul Kumar.
Sir, sorry for the interruption. When will come to know whether our publication will be printed or not?
Yeah. The question is that when you will come to know that your article has been published or printed. I think we have shared the details on your WhatsApp number, your publications also. It will be uploaded on website maybe in a day or two, maybe on a Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll upload on website. This is the one thing. Secondly, those who have submitted article yesterday and today, it's pending for publication. It will be done within 1 or 2 days. Please allow some time. Yeah. Breathing space for us to complete the assignment, and we'll do it in a couple of days. Maybe in 3 or 4 days, it will be done. You'll receive the certificate of attendance maybe by tomorrow or Monday morning hours, and that's all from our side.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, is it the certificate of paper presentation, sir?
It's a combined certificate. It contains both the things. That is your name, right? As you attended and presented during the international conference. So it's
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, we share on Monday or Tuesday.
Sir.
Any other question?
Sir.
Yeah.
2 minutes में present कर सकता हूँ sir?
Dilip sir, you want to present now?
2 minutes.
Okay, you can present. Now you are having a 5 minutes. So at 5 minutes you have to complete the presentations so that we'll allow some time for question and answers. Yeah, over to you. Yes, sir, you can present. Please continue. So just unmute your mic. Unmute it. Your mic is muted.
Hello, sir. Hello, आवाज येते sir?
Yeah, very much, very much. Please continue.
Thank you, sir. Basically, your international conference and warriors of education. This conference is an opportunity, and thank you for all sirs and all teams. The best you have to this chapters, and this is a topics, the impact of COVID-19 on educational sectors. It is a very important point of view. This is the pandemics, new things, new learnings, point of views, continue to the teachings and learning processes. Basically, you have to World Health Organization declared to the very coronavirus in COVID-19 is a pandemic and March 11, 2020. This is the basically you have to studies in UNESCO, and then other than to the populations of the different type of the 22 nations, and 290 millions people are across to the all over worlds, and this is the programming is a different type of to the sectors, transports, views, educations, economy, and this is the this type of basically students sectors highlight the article about to the 91% students is worldwide. It is the accordingly to the this type of considerations. Basically, you have to things and continue this teachings and learning process is a completely how to continue to the basically continue to the teachings and learning process. Secondly, first you have to think in COVID-19 pandemics. It is a very important of the which type of the processes are used and this is the contents are used. This type of things. Basically, second thing is the maintaining to the quality of the education. Which type of the quality of the education. Third, how to maintaining to the activity during to the lockdown periods. This is the very clearly and the situations of Government of India and states technical educations. The 16th March in 2020 immediately educational activity you have to the stopped, and then you have to first lockdowns it is declared to the 23 March 22 it is in considerations, which is the very important. Firstly, this type of teachings and learning process, the activities. One of the activities in this contents, it is the educational sector seen significantly changes to the results of pandemic, including to the different type of the classrooms, learning environments, teachers adaptations, and other activities. It is a firstly in the this reports. It is a very important for the 150 nations worldwide. It is UNESCO. The online lectures allowed it to the different type of the face-to-face instructions divided to the full attentions. All the students is during lockdown is not for many experts begin the free online courses other than all universities. The Coursera, this type of the courses it is in use for these conditions, and this is important for the online learning, homeschooling, virtual learning, e-learning, and this is a very important for to the course completed to the faculty using to the platform in SWAYAM, NPTEL, during to the learning resources, audio and videos created to the faculties and different help of the structures. Basically, activities in this educations, the online courses, audio videos, third-party learning resources, assignment, different type of the assignment, the online conditions in the quiz, tests, group of discussions, different type of the roles and exercise, live streamly sessions in all type of the availabilities, virtual lab sessions. It is an actually for this type of the example in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. It is the you have to virtual labs and preparations, different type of the question banking conditions, lab manuals is a you have to changes for this is a and how to change for this is online and virtual learning, e-learning. This is numerous the basically redo have to one of the MITWS in reduction AutoCADs in virtually you have to process of all type of the TV, radio, YouTubes and e-learning. The process is availability. These types of conditions environmentally influence how to the impact of this domain is numerous psychologically, social environmental effect, including to the financial, mentally health, environmentals, global, different type of the pandemic is very important. All type of the students have to considerations in a changes. This is the basically you have to basic learning this type of the process in COVID. Several it is the particularly it is determined to the virtual outbreak of the determining to the impact of this area is educational sectors, managing services to the students. You have to actually conditions in create a better learning environments, futures, and this type of the traditional or including the social isolations at the home and other factors. This type of condition is used for this learning, and this is this chapter is fully constitution. It has advantages, disadvantages, including the social isolations, hence the major course requirement, circumstances, some educations, different type of learning result, this is better results, and this is impactive to the negatively be impact of this type of the learnings. But more advanced education is removed. Policy makers and the government of India, it is in new education policies is used. This type is a betterment of students and parents. This is the new things of this, and thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Good presentation. Anyone from the participant is remain to present, just raise their hand. No, it's time to propose the vote of thanks. I must thankful to the resource person, Mr. Jaikar Sayaraj, Dr. Atul Kumar, Professor Vijay Parthasarathy. Thank you very much for taking your time and deliver a wonderful speech during this international conference. I am most thankful to the presenters, Ms. Sampurna Guha, then Avinash Moholkar, Meghasham Chaudhary, Satya Kalyani, Chris Jayashankar, Angela Krishna, Sangeeta, Sandhya J, and Professor Narsimha Prasad and Dr. Dilip Deshmukh. Thank you very much for presenting during the international conference on barriers of education. Thank you very much. With the due permission from all the participants and resource persons for the international conference, I will end the meeting. Thank you, Dr. Atul Kumar, for taking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I was engaged a little bit in between. It was really, a nice opportunity to each and everyone, and please keep organizing such kind of events. We are always with you, and it is always pleasure to be part of such kind of events, activities. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving us opportunity to present ourselves on this forum. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We thought that today hardly there will be 2 or 3 presentations, but we crossed 10. It's more than.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In between, I was listening to the presenters. They have done a wonderful job, and such a wonderful presentations were made during. all of you, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And from behalf of entire Best Utrecht, I must thankful to all present and resources. Thank you. With the due permission, I am ending the video.